My question to you right now is, what if while you were developing your self-image, what if while you were deciding what you were capable of and who you were as a person, you were seeing the negative in things? What if you were associating with people who also saw the negative in things and told you that you really weren't that great, or you really couldn't achieve those things? Okay? All of these things are going to have an influence on your self-image. What if you weren't really watching the best television? What if you weren't reading the best books? What if you didn't have great mentors in your life? What if our parents weren't so great? You know, all of these things have an influence on us. Your thoughts determine your self-image. And self-image is hugely important if you want to achieve anything. I'll give you an example of two men. One man doesn't really think he's going to achieve too much. The other man thinks he can conquer the world. The other man made a goal for himself to be worth $10 million, move to America and become a Hollywood movie star. This man, I don't think he thinks he can do that. And the only reason I don't think he thinks he can do that is because he's believed false evidence. He's seen the red throughout his life. He's been shown the red. Other people have drawn his attention to the red. They've shown him that he doesn't have nice ripply pecs like some of these other people do. You know, he just doesn't possess things. But what if while you were building that self-image, what if when he was telling himself that this was okay for him, he was perceiving the wrong evidence? What if he, like everybody else, was worthy of greatness? What if he had greatness within him as a human being? I want everybody to imagine for a second that I left the room and I came back in with 20, 30 prize-winning racehorses. Okay? The most stellar racehorses you've ever seen in your life. They've all won ribbons, medals, and have achieved tremendous things. I want to ask you, how would you treat that prize racehorse that I just gave you? You know it's capable of amazing things. It's a beautiful animal. It's got evidence to support that it is capable of amazing things. How would you treat that? How would you treat that horse? Would you feed it the best grains you could find, let it roam free, and tell it could conquer the world? Or would would it be sitting up late at night, throwing back some drinks at 3 in the morning? You know, how would you want to treat that racehorse? I propose that we treat ourselves like racehorses. If you truly knew what you were capable of as a human being, the most complex organism in the entire universe as far as we know, capable of amazing things that I just showed you on the beginning of the slides, why wouldn't you treat yourself like an amazing spiritual person, like somebody who's capable of just anything that you set your mind to? It has nothing to do with any belief that you might have about yourself or that you might harbor that somebody else told you you're not capable of these things. Everyone has unique gifts and abilities. Great potential lies within everybody. Capable of anything you set your mind to. The only difference between somebody who's struggling and somebody who's achieving anything that they desire is that they've been able to see the blue. They've been able to find the evidence to support them to the fact that they are capable of doing those things. That's it. And I'm telling you that you, as a human being, are capable of all those things as well. All right, now, as far as making a change, it can be tough. A lot of you might be sitting here like, yeah, blah, Jake, but, I've had it tougher than other people, or my circumstances don't really support the stuff you're talking about, or it's easy. We can all come up with excuses like, yeah, Jake, what about this red, and this red, and this red, and this red? It just doesn't really line up with what you're talking about. And I'm telling you that every person experiences setbacks. Every person has hurdles. But if you're waiting for things to be fair, if you're waiting for justice before you allow yourself to be an inspired and passionate person, a person who's driven to be successful, to provide for you and to provide for anybody else who might need it, you're not going to be able to achieve it this lifetime. It's gonna be a matter of taking a stand against your current pattern of thoughts and your current habits if you want to achieve anything of greatness. It's said that you either master your brain or you be a slave to it. The thoughts that are coming through your mind, you're not really in control of. How many of us have ever really sat down and consciously perceived all the thoughts and images that were coming through our minds? Most of us have. But your mind is the greatest tool you possess. And if you're not using it, if you're not harnessing its power, then you're just being controlled and run by it. You're being run by your impulse. You're floating throughout your day based on whatever your mind, whatever stimulus, whatever red, whatever blue might happen to come into your environment and push you and pull you in whichever direction. The only way you're ever going to be able to do anything, the only way you're ever going to be able to become successful is by deciding to take control and master your brain. Okay? Instead of just letting it run willy-nilly. It can be a toddler off roaming whatever it wants to do, or you can use it as a tool that's able to empower you. A couple of interesting things about your minds. Anybody you see in a commercial or a billboard advertising, anything like that, all of that is a multi-billion-dollar industry every single year in this world. And the only purpose for that amount of money being spent is so that they can have an influence on your mind. They understand it. A billboard in Spokane, I'm a small business owner here in Spokane, they will charge you $1,000 to $5,000 per month to display your message on a Spokane billboard. Now, why is that? The reason is business owners, people who, the man, the guy at the top, he understands the importance of all this, and he understands that amount of money is pennies compared to the influence that he's going to be able to have on people. Subliminal messaging, is anybody familiar with subliminal messaging? It's like, it's hard to describe, but it's background noise to an overlapping stimulus that's an attempt to have an influence on your subconscious mind. It's imperceivable if you're trying to look for it. It's inlaid, it's just a quick blurb, or it's audio in the background that you don't really understand. Do you guys know what's going on? Anyway. Communications Commission of the government, they stated that subliminal messaging is not protected under the Freedom of Speech Amendment. Okay? They determined that it is illegal for businesses to use subliminal messaging to influence their market. That was huge to me when I first heard it. The only reason, again, same thing as billboards, they want to have an influence on your minds. They know that everything originates from your mind. Right now, you perceive me as a body running around the stage and you're all sitting in the chairs, but really it's just our minds communicating to each other. These bodies are just vehicles to carry your mind around this physical realm that we have here. If you take action, I'm going to show you exactly how you can do these things. I've been throwing a lot of fluff at you for the last couple minutes, but I'm going to show you exactly how we do these things. And if you're able to do it, it transcends far beyond just success with money, okay? These things can allow you to have better relationships, let them believe in yourself, eliminate the need for willpower. Willpower is a joke, okay? You're not going to just will yourself to do all these things. It doesn't work. I think we've all had experience with that where we've fallen on our faces trying that new diet or trying to kick smoking just by willing it to happen, okay? It'll allow you to take action, achieve anything you desire. Influencing your minds. The question is, if you understand, if I've gotten through you at all, and you understand that the power of the mind is hugely influential, and you understand that it might be a good idea to kind of start influencing how your mind operates and how you're perceiving things, I have 7 techniques for you. One is affirmations. How many of us have heard affirmations? I am awesome. I am great, I love myself, all that hoopla. If you've heard it and you're not doing it, it's because you probably thought it was just hogwash. I'm here to tell you that it is extremely effective, okay? How you talk to yourself has a huge impact on how your mind works and operates. Affirmations, I set up visual reminders all around my house, okay? On my mirror, whiteboard, in my car, you'll see these things. I'm constantly bombarding myself with mini billboards just to let myself know that I am awesome, basically. I don't really like saying that in front of a room of people, but that's what I do.